Well, hello there, everyone. I haven't done interviews in a while, and I thought I'd do a round of interviews just so some of my followers, or all my followers actually, can see some of our and meet some of our community members. And today I have with me Debra, who is one of our senior community members. I'm not talking age, I'm talking about how long she's been in the community. And she's been very successful. And she's a mom, a grandmom, very active in the community. She has she comes from Alberta, Canada, but she's now living in Mexico. Isn't that awesome? So, Deborah, just do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, first and foremost, I'm a child of God, and I am a mom of 6, and a grandmother of 19, and a great grandmother of 6.
Oh, great!
And successful online business owner. Yeah. So I originally lived in New Brunswick, and after the youngest daughter graduated from high school, she moved to Alberta, and at that point we had all 3 girls in Alberta, a son in BC, and 2 sons in Ontario. So there was nothing holding me back in New Brunswick. So jumped onto the move wagon and moved to Alberta. So, and then was there since 2006. And in 2018, because of being successful in this business, I had the opportunity and was blessed to be able to move to Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Yeah, and that was one of my questions is, would you be able to do what you're doing now if you hadn't been doing this business?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, not a chance.
Yeah.
No.
So it's wonderful. Being in Ontario, we just had our first snowfall 2 days ago, and you're sitting there in the sun.
Yes, yeah. With the air conditioner on and the fans blowing.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. So my next question is, Debra, you're a former bookkeeper. I'm a former office manager coming from an office environment. Neither one of us had any experience in the digital world. I'm sure you had a little bit of skepticism and fear getting into it. How did you feel about getting into it, and how did you get past that?
Well, I'm an accountant by trade. So, over the years, I've done a lot of income taxes of small businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, personal businesses, like personal people, like all these little small things like Amway, Avon. I've done income taxes of all those people. I've seen all kinds. I have never in my life seen a program like this one. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at it, and I watched the information session the same as you did. We all get in the exact same way. We register on a website with their name and email address, and we watch that 90-minute information session. And when I watched that 90-minute information session 6 years ago, it was like, oh my goodness, I know this will work. I don't know how, because I know nothing about social media. And I mean, nothing. I didn't even know how to put a picture on Facebook, Krista.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was because I used to work on a computer 12 to 14 hours a day, database, income tax programs, like you name it, anything to do with business, I did on the computer. But at the end of the day, I closed my computer and I didn't want to learn social media or anything else. I was content. But then in 2015, my position of many years was eliminated. So I had to find something else. Well, I got a great severance package. I mean, I had a great severance package. But that only lasts so long. And I wasn't even worried about going to get a job because, it was my field of work. I've done it for, over 40 years. And I figured, no problem, I'll get a job, And because I knew I did my job well, I enjoyed what I did. So I didn't have any fear of not getting a job. Well, I got lots of interviews and every one of them said to me, how long do you plan on staying in the workforce? Well, I was 60 years old. Mm-hmm. They were looking, and of course it was the downturn of the economy then. And they were looking for people, right out of university that would give them 20, 30, 40 years of service, because it's very expensive to train. And even though you have an experienced person, every company has their own type of training, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, and it's very expensive to train. So, anyways, I had to come to the realization that nobody was going to hire somebody over the age of 60.
Mhm.
So I thought, I've got to do something because I can't retire. Like, I can't support myself. I can't make a mortgage payment. I can't make a car payment. I can't, feed myself. I can't pay my bills. Like, I've got to find a job. I've got to find something. So I thought, well, here I go. Like, here comes the internet for me. And it's like, oh no, I was always afraid one of these people that, the little green dot on your computer, that people could see me, even though my daughter said, Mom, don't be so silly. Nobody can see you. I always kept duct tape on that little,
Oh, yeah.
always did. Anyways, because I was afraid of everything. But I knew when I saw this business, it would work. I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew I could learn. I was willing to learn. And I thought, if I give myself a 5-year plan, all I want to make is $5,000 a month, and I'll be able to live happy. I mean, really enjoy life on $5,000 a month. So I thought, this is my 5-year plan. I know it's going to be a struggle for the next 5 years, but where am I going to be if I don't try it?
Mhm.
Right? Like, if you look at 5 years ago to where I am today,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like, a huge difference, right? So, anyways, it happened quicker than 5 years.
Absolutely.
I had to get rid of my fear. I had to get rid of the fear somebody was going to look at me, whether I was allowing them to or not. I had to get rid of the fear that, maybe I'm too old to do this. I had to get rid of the fear that, I see all these young people coming in and, oh my gosh, they're surpassing me like crazy. And I'm thinking, how are they doing this? Like, maybe people don't like my story. I don't know. Like, what are they doing? So you get all those bad thought. I call it stinking thinking. You get the stinking thinking in your mind, and it starts to control you. So I had to learn to get rid of my fear and live by faith. Faith that I believed in the business, faith that I believed in myself, and faith that I knew I could do this no matter what. And faith that I had, that people would come into my business that were willing to learn and stick with it the way I did, right? So I had to learn how to live by faith and not fear, and I did it, and I am successful, and I do support myself. But would I have been able to live here in Mexico without this business? Absolutely not. I'd probably be living with one of my children, and they would be supporting me, because there's no way with the pension that you get in Canada that you can afford to support yourself, let alone travel or live somewhere else and, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah.
And whoever come up with the word golden
Not
years,
really. Oh, sorry.
no, whoever come up with the word golden years must have been on some kind of drugs. Because when you get older, it's not golden unless you're fortunate enough to work for a company for 30, 40 years that gives you a huge pension. And they're very far and few between now.
Yeah. And that definitely says something about our training for somebody who has as little social media training or knowledge, I should say, that you had, and now you're doing this. So
Yeah.
our training is phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And my grandson was 12 years old at the time. He's 18 and graduated from high school now. But he showed me how to put a picture on Facebook. God love him. And he said, and like he told me, and he showed me and stuff. And he said, Grandma, anything that you want to know about your computer or what to do, just type in Google. How do I put a picture on Facebook using my MacBook Pro? ? And your answer will pop up. He taught me how to do that. And along with knowing that I can Google everything that I want to know, and our training, and remember I said when people get hired, it's very expensive to train them.
Yeah.
Our training program is probably one of the best training programs I have ever seen in all my life.
I agree.
And it's given to us. When we become business partners, it's handed to us.
Yeah.
And we just have to follow the process step by step by step by step. And I was telling a lady today.
And it's not only handed to us, Deborah, but it's always upgraded. Like our community
Always.
volunteers, and they totally upgrade it all the time. Up to date, right, with the latest social media trends and everything. So that is just
Exactly.
I'm blown away that I was able to tap into something so fortunate, like really.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And everything is video based.
Mm-hmm.
If you can read and turn on a video, you can do this training.
Yeah.
It's there's things in there that you probably never see before if you were like me. But there's people in this business older than me that know social media like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I never ever took the opportunity to learn it because I didn't think I needed to, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? We can learn at any age. We can do this at any age. We don't have to be young. The young people will excel a lot quicker because they move a lot faster because they know social media. But, we are slower at doing that. And I even had my granddaughter tell me, TikTok grandma's for the younger generation. I said, you watch, I'm going to become a TikTok fan.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's the next challenge.
Right? Yeah. So, we can do whatever it is that we put our mind to. We don't have to be young. It doesn't matter at what age we are. This works for us. And I related this training to, let's say we're talking about becoming an online business owner and our training. So if you go out and you buy a brand new car that costs you thousands of dollars and you park it in your driveway, but you never learn how to drive it, how far are you going to go?
Exactly.
Right? Because if you decide, you're going to go down the street a little bit, you have to learn how to drive that car. The first step is to get that manual, study it, then you have to go write a written test, then you have to take a road test. You have to go through a school system now to get your driver's license. I don't even know what it's called, but anyways, they have to take that and to learn how to drive a car. With our online business, we have the training supplied to us. We have to do it in the order that it's given to us.
Yes.
If we don't do our training, how far do we think we're going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I totally agree. I wasn't quite as naive as you as social media, but I wasn't much better either. I posted and I did a few things, but I didn't have, I wasn't active on social media when I got into the business. But another thing I'm really proud of is we get all the system tools as well. Like I have been able to search out everything I needed to become a business owner, and we get all those system tools, right?
Yeah, and we're given a one-on-one mentor and a one-on-one coach. Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I really am thankful every day that I followed my intuition, because that's really what it was for me.
Yes.
I've always trusted my intuition. Mm-hmm. And I got that little ping that said, this is where you're supposed to be. And I followed it. And I'm so glad I did. Right.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I know that some people, it's a little bit more of a struggle. They have to go through a lot of the fear they're hearing from their family and friends. And they have a lot of skepticism. But it is a legitimate business. We do taxes. We all file taxes and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's a legitimate business, which is very important.
We can will our business. My business is in my will, and it goes to one of my daughters. Mm-hmm. And like she could, if God forbid something should happen to me, which it won't, because I'm going to live to be 120, still driving my car and very healthy. Anyways, she could step into this business, and just sit back and live off what I have coming in. Or she could step into my shoes and build it bigger and better than ever before. We can do that. Any business that's not legit or not a viable online business, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And this one you can,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a business that people from all over the world join every day.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what our gender is, it doesn't matter what our age is, and it doesn't matter what country we live in. We can do this business.
That's right.
And we all get the exact same training. We all get the same system and the same tools to work with. It's up to us if we're successful or we're not. If things aren't working, then we need to revamp and see what we need to change. Because a lot of people that don't go anywhere, and that's not just our business.
Yeah.
That's like all kinds of life. If or things aren't moving the way we want to, we need to make a change.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of people are afraid of change. Well, you know what? I don't look at a failure. If something doesn't work out for me, I just say, yes, that means something better's coming pretty soon, right? Because when one thing stops, something better is always around the corner.
Exactly. And that's how we grow, though, is through change, right? But you're right. Change is uncomfortable for all of us. It doesn't mean, we don't get away with not feeling uncomfortable. It's just we walk ourselves through that uncomfortableness.
Exactly.
Right? So it's uncomfortable for all of us, but we just have to be willing to go there to be able to do what we want to, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So if you guys out there, or if anybody's at all interested in looking into it, it's free to look into. You just go to the website and there's a 90-minute webinar. It's complimentary, cost-free. So all it costs you is your time to look into, and you can figure out if this is the right place or not. This is what we did. We watched the webinar too to get into it. And it explains so much more than we could on an interview, for sure. It goes into all the system tools and training and everything. So just take 90 minutes of your time and have a look, or shoot us off a message, and we'll be more than happy to chat with you.
So, and tonight is the live information session. It's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's right.
And if you register on KristaAnn.com, www.KristaAnn.com, put your name and your email address, and you'll be taken right to her thank you page. At that point, you can watch a replay right away, or we will send you an email directly after. It will come from Krista. You'll get an email with the link to join the live session tonight. So, the replay is one that was played previous, and the live one, there's new people on it every week. So, somewhere, you're going to, someday, somewhere, you're going to listen to someone speaking on that information session that you're going to relate to. Mm-hmm. And you'll be saying, if they can do it, I can do it. So I'm living proof every day. If I can do this business, anybody can do it, right? Yes, anybody can do it.
Yes, absolutely. And it's made so easy for us. We just have to be willing to do the work. That's what it comes into. And it starts with one step with the webinar.
Exactly. And it's not get rich quick. So don't come in expecting, start today, riches tomorrow. That's not how it works. You have to do your training, learn the business, and build it. And we teach you step by step how to do that. So,
but it's worth it.
Oh my gosh, I guess.
It's worth it.
Yes. Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day. And thank you, Debra, for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, hope to see you guys on the other side.
Take care.
Take care, everyone.
God bless.